Okay, take 3. Third attempt to go live this evening. I have really bad signal and it's not working from my laptop. Anyway, I don't even know if we can see anything, but I'm just going to give it my best shot. If you're here, just pop lots of hearts, lots of likes, lots of hellos, let me know, because anyone who knows me knows well enough that I hate this stuff. I hate all this social media technology stuff. I hate all these live things. I hate making videos. That's funny enough. I hate being public eye. Ironic. But also, yeah. Okay, yes, lots of loves, likes. Hi, Nadia. So anyway, lots of people have been asking me to come back on live. Anyone, like I said, who knows me knows that I have a bit of a phobia against this kind of stuff. But we did, and I did used to come live on some Sunday evenings. And actually when I set them, it's a really good kind of understanding to how anxiety plays with you. Those of us that are in the group, because we're suffering with anxiety, we're suffering with PTSD, it's one of those things that when I told you all that I was going to be coming on every Sunday, we were going to be looking at our self-care, all of a sudden I didn't want to come on. And it was literally, anyone who suffers with PTSD and anxiety will go through this. When you're really hypo and you're in your hyper state, you're fantastic and you're like, yeah, I'm going to book 101 appointments, I'm going to meet 110 friends in the space of 1 week, and you've booked it all ahead, but then when it actually comes to you going out and meeting them, you don't want to. And you look at your diary and you feel really overwhelmed, and actually what you've done is you've just pampered to, you know, these amazing ideas that we have, but then when they actually come, anxiety kicks us up the backside and doesn't want us to achieve them. And so what we do is we overwhelm ourselves. And I actually did that, you see. So hi Beth, hi my lovelies, pop some likes, let me know you're here if you're watching, or if you're going to watch this on the replay, hashtag replay. I'm trying to learn my social media marketing skills, hence the whole hashtag thing down below there, guys. Anyway, where was I? So assalamu alaikum, hi Samia, hi Sarah, mashallah. So yeah, Nadia, so what actually happened, as you may know, is that I set this amazing idea that I was going to come on live every Sunday, and I think we did 3, didn't we? And then anxiety hit me up the backside, and all of a sudden it was just like, I don't want to do it. I've got nothing to talk about. I don't want to go on there. And I just got too anxious every time I came on, which is quite surreal in light of the fact that I'm quite mediatorized and I'm good with the whole teaching and the whole coaching thing. But when it comes to just talking to a camera by myself and looking at some comments, it's kind of like, wow, okay, I need some kind of engagement, interactivity here. But anyway, so guys, I get it, right? I get that we plan and anxiety comes along and plans and kicks our plans out of the window. So don't actually overburden yourself with that. Many women keep saying to me, well, you know, I let people down, I cancel on my plans. Okay, that's not an ideal trait to have, but do you know what? We get it, we all go through it. And it's actually about learning how to balance your time and to be accountable for yourself. And that's what I just wanted to go into this evening, because I've been watching the last few weeks in the group, and fantastic, guys. But I've got a question for you, because we're getting a lot more interactive now in the group, and I had set up a poll when I tried to attempt the live on my laptop, but I don't know how to do it. Have you prioritized yourself today? So in the comments, look at me with my whole social media marketing tactics. Right, in the comments, guys, this is what I've been told to do. In the comments, I'm joking. In the comments, I want you to write yes or no. Have you prioritized yourself this week or today? So that is accountability, because I want to know where you guys are struggling to look after yourself and prioritize yourself. So Nadia, you're one of these, right? You can do the whole face palm thing. Yeah, you're all out there in the community, you're all doing amazing stuff, and that's fantastic. However, what about you? Are you prioritizing yourself? And I discussed this on, I think, the third live where, and I'm going to go back over it. That's basically what I'm going to do, is your accountability, right? So listen to this, and I did this, Beth, why? So these are one of the some things: guilt, shame, you just can't, I can't do anything. What do you mean you can't do anything? Look at me slapping you on the hand there. No. Okay, so we're getting lots of no's. Yeah, there we are again. Okay, so whilst I'm getting some comments from you guys, and some hearts would be nice too. Show the love, share the love. Ah, Amber, yay! Can I share the love? Can I give you loves back? Or maybe that's a bit too advanced. Anyway, you treated yourself today for a very peaceful day. Fantastic, because you're getting on point, Amber, with your self-care. And I've been watching you, and I've been watching your progress as well. Hi, Amber. Okay, so you're telling me no. Beth, you're telling me no. You're all telling me no, that you're not being accountable for yourself. You've not... Everything I plan, I don't do. Okay, so we're going back to what I just said about when I plan too much, it overwhelms and anxiety kicks in, and then I don't want to do it. So Nadia, are you over planning? Okay, so are you giving yourself just like 5 or 10 minutes? And this is the issue when we talk about self-care. So when I do self-care reminders, you all go into like overdrive of, oh my God, I've got to go and book a holiday and spend 6 months in the Canary Islands and look after myself. Yeah, fantastic. Please take me there with you if you're going to do that. But the reality is we don't have time for that. Or do we? But the reality is we don't see ourselves as a priority. So we see everybody else as a priority, but we don't see ourselves. It's okay. So I'm going to give you some statistics, right? Because I did this on one of our other lives, and I want to know who says I haven't had time. If you're going to put in there who hasn't had time. Yeah, because you're overwhelming yourself, Nadia. And I've actually got a daily to-do list and in the learning section. I don't know which way we're looking around here, but anyway, in the learning section, how it's really overwhelming when you've got all these to-do things. Yeah, okay. Okay, so if you think about, okay, I'm watching your comments. Sorry, guys, that's why I'm going a bit distant here, because I'm watching the comments and I'm really I don't know if I need to give you all a really good kick up the backside, because clearly that's why I needed to be coming back and doing the lives. You're all commenting on the self-care post or looking at it, and you're actually taking no bloody notice of it. Okay, so fantastic, right. Okay, so your self-care doesn't have to be any more than a few minutes, right? I'm going to say it out, right? We'll need to emotionally crap, okay? I'm just listening to, I'm listening or reading your comments, and I can feel you all need to have an emotional crap. Like, go and have an emotional poo, yeah? Because seriously, you are not looking after yourselves. And I'm reading these comments, and the longer you continue like this, you are not going to be able to prioritize yourself, and you are burning yourselves out. That's why you're getting overwhelmed, overdrive, anxiety kicking in and stopping you from accessing anything. You need to go and have an emotional poo. And if we have to emotionally poo every single Sunday night, that's what we're going to do, right? I will just turn around and say to you, come on and have a good old crap. Okay, so people that are telling me that the time, okay, I'm going to give you some statistics just to give you something beneficial to think about. When you're telling me that you're overwhelmed and you're stopping at 5 minutes of self-care time and you're not prioritizing yourself, let me give you some statistics, right? There was a report on the BBC, and I've given you this before. There's a report on the BBC that said that we spend over 29 years of our lives on our phones and our computers, right? So that's actually 10,625 days that we are spending on the computer and on our phones. So how are we not able to allocate 5 minutes of our time to ourselves? Yeah, and social media, as you've heard my rants, you know, has a massive impact on our mental health as well, right? And our well-being, and you know, how we're looking at other people's lives being portrayed. It's also said that we spend 9.1 years on TV, watching TV. Wowzers, right? So 9.1 years of our lives are spent watching TV. We spend 17 years trying to lose weight, trying to pick out our clothes, and guess what? We spend 5 months of that time moaning we don't have any time, right? So we spend 5 months moaning, because we do like to moan. That's what we do, isn't it, as women, right? We love a good old moan. And actually, that's really healthy, right? Because that's emotional pooing. So I'm going to tell you now, have a good old rant, have a good old moan, because that's an emotional poo, right? Gets rid of all the crap that's weighing heavily on your shoulders, yeah? But let's work this out, right? You're telling me you don't have time and it's all a bit too overwhelming. I get it. But what you also need to understand is that you're serving everybody else, and you're not in this world just to serve other people, and you burn out and you lose your mental well-being, and when you emotionally poo, it's really, really like painful, yeah? So you become in pain because you haven't released these emotions, you haven't worked through them, and you haven't allowed yourself time for them. Okay, so that's me having a rant at you ladies and all of you, because you're just not prioritizing yourself. Yeah, and what we're doing is, when we're setting self-care, we're overwhelming ourselves as well. So, oh, I have to spend, you know, half an hour on self-care. Do you know what, ladies? Grab yourself a bloody cup of tea, grab a cup of tea, close the door and drink it while it's hot. That's self-care, right? And for those of us that are mums, you get that, yeah? And those are not mums, you probably get it because you're too busy dealing with everybody else on the phone and on your Facebook. And remember that we spend 29 years of our lives, 10,625 days on our phones and computers. There we are. So let me tell you that you deserve to prioritise yourself. You deserve to look after yourself. Because if you are burning out, how can you continue doing what you're doing? And it's not selfish. You know, I've said this loads and loads of times in the group, in the post. It's really not selfish. So, in these comments, right, now try to justify, yeah, Nadia, I'm on your case, girl. Try to justify you haven't prioritised yourself for some self-care, okay? So I'm on you now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start doing some accountability, yeah? So I'm going to upload this. Anyway, I don't know if you can see, you know that I made this self-care journal that I'm going to upload a page for everybody in the group, right? So that you can have a checklist. Yeah, I know. I'm on you now. Now that you've come on here and confessed, right? You're in trouble. Okay, so your checklist, I'm going to be putting this on every single week, a checklist. I want you to tick that you've completed your last week's self-care goals, that you've practiced some coping skills. Now, I've put some grounding techniques in the learning unit, right? So if you're suffering with overwhelm and anxiety, you've now got the coping skills, especially grounding, because grounding is really good for hyperarousal. Grounding is good when you're in this state of panic, when you've got this state of anxiety. And I've put in the learning unit some grounding. So that's now your tick in your checklist. I don't know if you can see that, ladies, but that's now your checklist tick, right? And then we've got your mantras. Come on now. I give you mantras every Monday, damn you women. You've got to start prioritizing yourselves, right? So you're going to have 3 accountability things every single week. I'm trying to scan that in. You have to complete your self-care goal. You have to practice your coping skill. And I want some emotional pooing. Yeah? People ask me how I do what I do. How am I supposed to... God damn it, you don't see my emotional poos, right? You don't see the pain that I have to release in order to be the way I am. And you have to do it too. Right, there we are. You see, this is your self-care. This is you sitting and listening, right? Don't overthink or overanalyze self-care. Obviously, if you're going to book the, the 6-month break to the Canary Islands, I'm just going to remind you that I gave you that idea, so I'm coming with you, right? Yeah, my self-care is not that great. And then I want you to use this as your reflection. Okay, you can't ground until you're calmed down enough to ground. I'm not going to go in this with you because you're in my program and we're going to do this in session 3. But Amber, who's in here, she understands what I'm telling you because you're using grounding the wrong way. Okay, there's a misconception that grounding, you have to use it when you're calm. You don't use grounding when you're calm. You use grounding when you're in a hypo state, okay? Because when you are in a hypo state, you have an out of body experience. And grounding has to bring you back into the present and the now. So when you're in a state of anxiety and your adrenaline is high, you have to bring yourself back to this environment. Look at the wall and ground yourself. So people who tell me they can't ground themselves until they're calm, it's because you're using it wrong. Grounding is not calm. Safe space is calm. Breathing is calm. Contemplating, reflection, writing, etc., they are for calm. Grounding is not for calm. And this is a misconception that's been spread out in the world of trauma, anxiety, and PTSD. But Victoria, honey, I'm not going to tell you off just yet because you're in week 2 on Thursday, and we don't learn the grounding and all the coping skills until week 3, session 3, and then it'll make sense for you because you can have your workbooks, etc. Okay, yes, Nadia, you do. Everybody needs to get on this, right? You know what? I'm going to say it to you again. You ladies, and I say this to you every day, are absolutely bloody amazing. You are fantastic, and you all just constantly want to put yourself down, right? And I watch it and I see it and I feel it. And if I could just come in there and grab you all and just, yeah, then I would, okay? Because you're all going through your own journeys, you're all going through your own stuff, but you're all bloody amazing. Now, have I finished having a go at you? Yeah, I think I have. So that's your accountability. Oh, and also, I'm going to be starting some nutrition and some other stuff that's happening. Some of the ladies know this where I'm doing the... I'm hoping to start up this trauma recovery centre here in Manchester where I've relocated, and one of those things that's going to be including is obviously trauma recovery, but I'm coming into some fitness therapy because we need to start connecting our mind, our body and our soul, okay? And I'm telling you ladies, there is nothing that you don't already know. You just need to get on it. Exactly, Kelly. Ah, Kelly, yay, hi my darling. You need to get on it, and you really need to do some serious self-development. Oh, and you need to do some self-dating. Okay, I'll leave that for the next live. I'm not going to tell you when I'm coming on, because if I start, again, it's like you, Nadia, if I start planning, I'm going to be on at 7 o'clock, at 8 o'clock every Thursday night, it actually really overwhelms me, and then I don't want to come on. So sometimes you have to just live a little bit more spontaneous, and what we're doing in this world is we're just constantly going and going and going, and that's anxiety for you. It will be a Sunday, but I'm just not going to guarantee a time, because that's where that's where I went wrong too. So you learn by your mistakes, and you learn by understanding what you can and can't do. But yeah, self-dating is going to be our next one, because I want you all to take yourself out on a nice little date. I want you just to start appreciating yourself, to be honest, not many people appreciate you, right? Not many people appreciate us. So if we don't do it, then who's going to do it, basically? Okay. Can I just do my little marketing thing? Can everybody share some love in the comments? And if you're watching this on, can you hashtag replay, please? Apparently that boosts the algorithms for the group, but I don't know how because it's a private group, so I don't know how we can boost algorithms. But hey, please keep liking, loving, and showing some love. I've been watching too many American media tactics. Right, okay, I'm going to love you and leave you. But please, ladies, take this one thing away, that we do have time, okay? And if you don't prioritise yourself, you're going to burn out. Emotional pooing is hard. Please do it. And if you don't do it regularly, have a little cry, have a scream, have a vent. There was a posting group this morning, Casey. Thank you so much for that post. Don't ever say, why am I posting this? Because to be honest, that's what we need to do. I met a woman who married herself. Fantastic. I love that. Yeah, so we just all marry? Yeah, can we create a little island where we can just all go there by ourselves? That is actually one of them. Someone find it and share it in the group, because it's absolutely amazing where, you know. Anyhow, where was I? Emotional pooing. So please have an emotional poo this evening if you can. And if you leave it too long, it's going to get painful, okay? Just like when you don't use the toilet as a natural thing, it gets painful. So please enter into your being, enter into yourself, love yourself, appreciate yourself, and please be accountable tonight for self-care. If you have not done your self-care, which lots of you have said you haven't, now is your time. You've still got a couple of hours before bedtime. Get onto your self-care, get onto your accountability. I'm going to love you. Constipation, that's painful. This is what you lot are all doing. You're all sitting in constipation of emotional pooing. Cry, scream, vent. Stop doing it. Whatever conditioning that you've had that has told you that you are not allowed to do it, I am telling you, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to look after yourself, okay? So I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you. Also, what I'd like you to do is, if you have questions for me, okay, don't do them now because I'm not even going to bother to reply because I've been talking for too long. Save them for next Sunday's live. I'm going to come on in the evening. I'm not going to tell you a time. It will probably be around this time. No, it'll probably be a little bit before or after. Anyway, but if you've got, I want you to bring some questions as well, right? Because I know lots of you have got lots of questions for me. So it's time that I started to embrace them and answer them. So bring questions, whatever you're struggling with, bring it to the lives. I will try to dedicate, even if it's 20 minutes on a Sunday, to you, lovely ladies. And finally, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being in this group, for supporting me, for putting up with me. Honestly, it means so much to me. And I'm going to go an emotional poo now. Love you lots, ladies, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.